Sophie and Emily here, welcoming you to the January 2015 edition of Upper Valley Access, your monthly video magazine.
This month we learned about Open Door Studio in downtown White River Junction and about the services that Good Neighbor Health Clinic provides Upper Valley community members.
This was also an extremely successful month for the Heartland homeschoolers, as they completed 2 short documentaries for C-SPAN's 2015 Student Cam competition.
And Lebanon City Manager and Hanover Town Manager ring in the new year on Lebanon in Depth in our studio.
Here's to Hanover.
And here's to Lebanon.
And here's to all the members of the community of the Upper Valley. And we wish you absolutely the best Happy New Year ever.
Happy 2015.
It's a glorious place that I'm lucky enough to live in. And it's our 2 communities are just special places. So.
They are.
And they truly are. So here's to a Happy New Year.
Same to you, Greg.
Now these horns are wonderful. I had my son, the musician, and they tuned them up before I came over here. So here we go. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Here we go.
Hi, my name's Audrey. I'm 13 years old, and I've lived in Vermont almost my whole life. I love it here because I'm so close to the outdoors. It's like having another world right in my backyard, a world where I can go for a hike, or swim in a pond, or even just climb a tree. When I think of Vermont, I picture rolling hills and fall colors. I think of covered bridges with blankets of snow, and frozen rivers and maple syrup. I think of reading a book under a tree in the summer and playing pond hockey in the winter. Most of all, I think of peace and quiet in my home state.
What I don't think of are fighter jets screaming across the sky, sometimes twice every waking hour. Recently, Congress approved the placement of a fleet of F-35 jets at the Air Guard Base in Burlington, Vermont. Once the jets are stationed, they will be taking off and landing at the airport up to 20 times a day. The Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning can travel at about 1.6 times the speed of sound. It can carry up to 4 short and long-range missiles, as well as bombs in its internal weapon base. It is also being considered for nuclear weapons and lasers. The jets are equipped with electro-optical targeting systems and highly advanced communication systems.
It does air-to-air, it does air-to-ground, it does virtually everything. It's sort of like the Swiss Army knife of fighters.
While the F-35 is still being tested, it holds a lot of promise as the Air Force's future primary fighter jet.
I don't think anybody in charge of the program foresees major program disruptions.
Recently, the U.S. Air Force chose 3 possible locations for the first fleet of F-35s. One in Jacksonville, Florida, one in South Carolina, and one here in Burlington, Vermont. In the end, Burlington was the chosen location. The Air Guard Base, located at the Burlington International Airport, was named the most environmentally friendly location, despite being the only one of the 3 locations surrounded by residential housing. There are about 1,500 children currently living in the F-35's noise zone. A noise zone is an area affected by an airport's plane noise. Stationing a fleet of F-35s at the Burlington Airport will extend the noise zone by at least a half a mile in all directions.
There are over 7,000 residences within the area that the Air Force says is not suitable for human residential use. 70% of the residential properties that are in Winooski, in the area that the Air Force says, if that plane is flying, they're not suitable for residential use.
The children living near the Burlington Airport go to local schools, which are also in the noise zone. F-35s would be taking off twice an hour during the day. This may expose kids to harmful levels of noise over 20 times a day. The F-35's noise level will hover around 72 decibels. 65 decibels is already considered to be harmful to hearing and learning. That extra 7 decibels will make matters worse. Because the decibel scale is logarithmic and not linear, an increase of about 10 decibels is considered nearly double the noise.
While I have no real qualms with having the Air National Guard, I appreciate what they do and I'm thankful that they're here. Just as a resident who lives right by them, it is very noisy and it can be kind of annoying, especially because I, for instance, work a lot of night shifts here, and if they're drilling during the day and I'm trying to sleep to get ready for work in the evening, it's very difficult to get back to sleep after the jets wake me up.
Local residents talk about kids needing noise orientation so they won't be scared by the jets. F-35s may bring a noise level so extreme it would not only make learning difficult, but would also give kids permanent hearing problems and impact their ability to learn. According to Dr. Wolfgang Babisch from the World Health Organization, the effect level for cognitive impairment in children due to aircraft noise in schools is lower than 65 decibels. Some Burlington residents living in the noise zone have expressed a desire to move out once the jets move in. However, this may be difficult. The property value of houses in the noise zone is anticipated to drop considerably, so many residents will have to continue to tolerate the harmful roar of the Joint Strike Fighter jets. The F-35 was accepted into Vermont after Lockheed Martin, the manufacturer of the jet, gave Vermont politicians generous campaign donations. However, not all Vermont lawmakers agree with the decision.
So between noise and safety, it just doesn't make any sense in a residential area.
The F-35s are here due to a decision made by Congress and the U.S. Air Force. Once the jets are stationed in Burlington, Vermont will be one of the first states to post the high-tech military planes, and this could create new jobs for residents of this area. However, it seems many people feel that the health and safety risks of the plane outweigh its benefits.
While they have been able to level off some of their problems, they still have software challenges, millions of lines of type that they still need to do, a whole bunch of flight testing that still needs to be done, and we're now 12 or 13 years into this program.
The F-35s are scheduled to arrive in Vermont by 2020. I'll be 19, but a lot of other kids will still be living and going to school in the noise zone. Hopefully by then, people will understand better what the effects of the jet are on kids' health and learning.
So, how did you hear about the F-35?
You told me a few seconds ago.
As of now, many Vermonters haven't heard of the F-35, but they certainly will be hearing it soon.
They think it happens in New York or in Boston or in big cities where you see people sleeping on the street or on park benches, but it's right here.
Homelessness. Those things we try to avoid. But avoiding it won't solve anything. We have to face the fact. We need to raise awareness for the homeless. I'm Alicia and I'm 12.
I'm Jada and I'm 13.
I'm Julia and I'm 14. And we're here to talk to you about a very serious matter.
Homelessness.
It's bigger than you think.
We've asked several people from our hometown a few questions about homelessness and got a variety of answers.
I guess just sadness.
Children. Maybe they've lost their job and they're unable to pay their rent, they've been evicted.
Like a worn out hat, like a brown jacket.
Stereotyped. That's what homelessness is. Admit it. Most of us think of homeless people as ugly, worn out, dirty, messy, stinky, unsocial, lazy, drunk, criminal, people that we should avoid.
But this isn't true.
Have you ever looked into the eyes of a homeless person? I mean, really looked. They aren't dirty or stinky, they're just broken with no hope. And so all we need to do is give them the hope that they need, whether it's some dry firewood or a cup of coffee or even just a warm smile. These are all a good way to start. But Congress, this is what we really need. We believe that one law that could help this problem is the Homeless Bill of Rights law. This law ensures that all homeless citizens have the right to free speech, voting, medical care, privacy, and employment. There are plenty of people who can't find jobs, but there are also people who can find jobs but can't apply themselves because the businesses won't take them in without their driver's license and address. We believe that if this law was in place in all 50 states, then homelessness might see a change.
But the reality is that of those 1 in 6 Americans, roughly 46 million Americans, who are labeled by the government as poor, only about 1% of them are homeless at any given point in time.
One thing that we feel that we're very concerned about is that we don't have a handle on the problem of homelessness among youth. We don't have a handle on the numbers. We don't have a good assessment of the solutions.
So I know, for example, that in the Newport school system there are about 65 homeless students.
We have Santa come every Christmas, and we had a little girl who walked up to Santa. Santa was taking everybody's Christmas wishes. And she walked up to Santa and she said to him, he said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And she said, "I want us to have a home." She says, "We don't have a home right now. We're living in our car." And you know, that shouldn't be. Children should not have to go through that. That's what needs to change.
We went to see one homeless camp in early December. It was approximately 23 degrees out as we followed Ralph into the thick of the woods. We were strangers to this place, but Ralph, on the other hand, had been there many times.
And the longer you stay out here, the less showering you do, the less eating regularly you do, the less you feel part of society anyways.
I don't like it. It makes me feel horrible, especially that my wife's out here. But I'm doing what I can to get back on my feet, and hopefully won't be out here too long. Out here, being homeless, you appreciate every little thing you can get for help, even if it's only getting warm for a couple of hours.
What do you think is the hardest part about being homeless? Is it the cold, like in the winter?
Yeah, it's been freezing cold every night, not being able to feel your hands.
When I asked him why his hand, I said, "Your hands must hurt very much," and he said, "Yes, they hurt, but you know what hurts even more?" He said, "The loneliness."
If you see someone, don't walk by. Smile at them, say hi. Just for the grace of God, go you or I. One little breath and we're out in the street with them too.
No one person is going to solve this problem. It's going to take a community, even a nation, if you go further out, a world to solve this issue. You can go out and spend a few minutes talking to somebody and change their day. And maybe even plant a seed to change their life, but it's going to take a long, continuous effort by many people in order to make even a small dent in the homeless problem that we're facing right now.
Last month, we attended and spoke at a homeless vigil that commemorated the 48 homeless people that had died in New Hampshire in the past year. If our small New England state lost 48 homeless people, then you can be sure that homelessness affects you and your community too. 13 states have passed or are considering homeless rights legislation. Congress, follow the lead of these 13 states and pass homeless rights legislation for the whole country.
Okay, so you're gonna turn around and you're gonna see a building called the Academic
We just abbreviate it as the AAPC building. You're going to go down the stairs, and then you're going to take a right to the theater, and then you're going to go into the left into the double doors there. I'm Jack Eiton. My favorite place to go on campus is probably the theater, because there are always so many great productions that go on down there. It's just a relaxing atmosphere to go down there and work on some lighting stuff for a while, or like if you're having a bad day, or to help build a set. It really feels like it's a semblance of kind of like my home back in New Jersey.
Hi, my name is Dana Mikalovic, and I'm the Executive Director of the Good Neighbor Health Clinic in White River Junction, Vermont. I'd like to tell you a few things about the clinic. We are a free clinic for people who live within 30 miles of White River and who have a low income. Typically, we see people who are uninsured, but we also see people who have deductibles that they can't afford to pay. About half of our patients come from New Hampshire and half come from Vermont. We see about 1,500 people a year. Usually people come twice or more. So we see about 3,000 patient visits a year, and we provide medical and dental care. The Red Logan Dental Clinic is also located under our umbrella. We're located at 70 North Main Street in White River Junction. If you'd like to call us to make an appointment or see if you qualify for care or to volunteer, our number is 802-295-1868. We provide all of our services through volunteer and student-driven care. That's important to know. So please call us also if you'd like to volunteer, or look at our website, which is goodneighborhealthclinic.org.
Hello, my name's David Briggs, and I am part of a family that's owned and operated the Briggs Opera House since about 1972. The Opera House is celebrating this year its 125th year of existence. It was built as part of the Gates Block in 1890 and functioned as a multi-purpose civic center up until about World War II, where it went into less and less use. Then it was revived by the J.J. Newberry Company for retailing, and then that use faded, and for a short time it became a summer stock theater. In 1985, our family launched a series of events there, beginning with the Butch Thompson Trio from the Prairie Home Companion radio show. And from that came River City Arts Forum, River City Arts, the Yankee Brass Band, the White River Theater Festival most notably, and eventually Northern Stage. Today, Northern Stage is completing its last season, starting in the late 1990s, to triumphantly move into the new Barrett Arts Center on the old Miller Auto Complex. And so the question is, what will become of the Briggs Opera House, so named due to its involvement in River City Arts? So we're very excited about this phase, both for the future of the building and the future of the village of White River Junction. The questions that come to mind naturally are, will it continue to be a space of cultural use, or will it be for residential purposes or an expansion of commercial purposes from the main street? Recently we held a public forum to take input from citizens and collect thoughts and ideas, along with our own planning with developers. And we are thinking at this point that the future looks more and more like cultural uses, which we think will please the community and be consistent with the way the space was originally constructed and the way it has been used for the last 30 years. With that in mind, we're anticipating perhaps a consortium of Upper Valley arts organizations. And the space will be enhanced by further development of commercial spaces on the main street that will lead up to that space. Access challenges will be faced. There'll be a staircase and a new elevator and all of the systems that are necessary to meet the codes and the needs of the general public today. The space should be architecturally enhanced and somewhat restored to its original architectural features, and we think that will be positive too, particularly on the outside of the building where some beautiful Palladian arch windows have been diminished since the J.J. Newberry Company turned it into pure retail space in the 1950s. So, a preservation part of this will enhance the historic nature of the building and reestablished uses, but cultural uses likely for the long pull. This we think will add to what White River Junction has become in the process of reinventing itself over the last 30 years. As I say, it's a very exciting time and one in which the entire community is engaged. And we're thankful for that and pleased to be a part of it.
So Open Door is a dream I've had for probably 15 years or so. It's a blend of my two passions, which are physical therapy and wellness, and art and dance. And our desire is to bring in both the idea that we all want to live a healthy, vibrant life, with the sense that we also want to support curiosity and growth. So with a combination of physical therapy, psychotherapy, life coaching, nutrition counseling, and the arts, so music, dance, film, poetry readings, we're going to serve the whole person, and that is our intention by opening this up. And then the other layer of that is the importance of collaboration, that we don't work in a vacuum, that I think we all can be served well by learning from many different points of view. And so we're really trying to facilitate that kind of teamwork in what we do here. I think what will be a little unique is that we're really trying to facilitate the whole person's growth and really allow people to kind of taste things that they might not necessarily be exposed to simply by just going to a yoga studio or a dance studio, that they might say they come here for yoga and they see that we're having this great cooking class or this writing workshop, and suddenly their life is maybe richer because of what we can provide for them here. One simple way is to, once a month have a gratitude event in which we open it up, no charge to the public, and provide some sort of service, whether it's a yoga class or a dance class. I also could envision creating some sort of scholarship program and, financing that in many different creative ways, so that it's opening up to people that might not see themselves in this environment or not be able to afford it. Wandering around White River Junction, I've kind of realized that this community is where I want to hold it, because it allows, the Upper Valley to have a central location. It's an up-and-coming community. It has a mix of kind of sophistication and grit that I kind of like, and found this space and had it renovated, and I feel really blessed because I feel like I'm bringing in a lot of collaborators, a lot of people that have a shared vision for sharing their talents, networking with other people in the community, and the time and place felt right.
If you're interested in producing your own program or learning more about what we do here at CATV, give us a call at 802-295-6688 or just stop by our office in the Teapot Building.